Have you heard about diabetes, right? It's a condition that affects millions of people around the world. And often, the body gives signs that something is not right. And these signs can be quite serious. That's why it's super important to pay attention to them. Let's discover together 7 emergency signs that everyone who has diabetes, or knows someone who does, needs to keep an eye on. Sign 1. Sweet or fruity breath. Imagine you're chatting with a friend, and suddenly you notice that they have a different breath, almost like they've eaten a sweet fruit. Strange, isn't it? This smell isn't normal, especially for someone with diabetes. This phenomenon happens because, instead of using sugar the right way, the body starts burning fat for energy. Think of the body as a big, complex machine that needs fuel to function well. For someone with diabetes, this machine doesn't always manage to use glucose, sugar, as fuel because it's lacking insulin, which is like the key that unlocks the door to energy. So, the body tries to find another way and turns to fat reserves. But this fat burning releases substances called ketones. And that's where the problem starts. When there's an excessive buildup of ketones, the body can't get rid of them quickly. This can lead to a state called ketosis, which, although manageable in some situations, becomes dangerous when not treated in time. Imagine the body trying its best with what it has, but if ketones keep accumulating, it's like this machine starts to fail. Therefore, if you or someone you know notices this sweet and fruity smell on their breath, it's essential to seek medical help immediately. Sign 2. Excessive thirst. Now, let's talk about excessive thirst. Have you ever had that moment when you felt so thirsty that it seemed you couldn't drink enough water? For someone with diabetes, this can be a warning sign. The body, trying to get rid of excess sugar, starts eliminating more urine, which is when thirst increases. It's as if the machine is asking for more and more water to function, but even so, the feeling of thirst doesn't go away. Sign 3. Frequent urination. Speaking of urination, if you notice that you're going to the bathroom much more often than normal, pay attention. This is a way for the body to try to get rid of excess glucose. Imagine you're in a race, and instead of reaching the finish line, you keep making stops. This can be a sign that it's time to check your health. Sign 4. Unusual fatigue or tiredness. Have you ever felt so tired that even getting out of bed felt like running a marathon? For someone with diabetes, this feeling of fatigue can be intense. When the body can't use glucose for energy, it becomes like a battery that isn't charging properly. So, even after hours of rest, a person may still feel exhausted. Sign 5. Blurred vision. Another important sign is blurred vision. Imagine you're looking through a dirty glass. This can happen when blood sugar levels are very high, causing the fluid in the eyes to change. Blurred vision isn't just inconvenient. It's a sign that something needs to be adjusted. Sign 6. Unexpected weight loss. If you're losing weight without even trying, this can be a warning. When the body can't use sugar for energy, it starts burning fat and muscles, resulting in weight loss. It's as if you're watching your body dismantle parts that shouldn't be removed. Sign 7. Wounds that don't heal. Finally, if you notice that cuts or wounds are taking much longer to heal than usual, this can also be a warning sign. High blood sugar levels can affect the body's ability to heal, turning even small injuries into big problems. Imagine a regular morning. You wake up, prepare for the day, and follow your routine. Maybe you're heading to work or having fun with your kids. Everything seems normal until suddenly, a sweet, unusual taste arises in your mouth. It's not something you plan to feel. It's as if your body is trying to tell you something. This sweet taste, reminiscent of fresh fruit, is not just a curious sensation. It's a silent alert. Your body is sending a warning, disguised as a pleasant scent, that something is very wrong. For those living with type 1 diabetes, this is a sign that cannot be ignored. What's happening inside is much more serious than it appears at first glance. This sweetness on the breath is a symptom of ketoacidosis, a state in which the body, without enough insulin, begins to burn fat for energy. In this process, ketones accumulate, turning the blood into something more acidic and potentially lethal if not treated quickly. Now, imagine another scene. A person sitting, maybe resting on the couch, when suddenly they start breathing quickly, as if they've just run a marathon. It's not fatigue or anxiety. The body is in a desperate effort to get rid of the excess acid accumulating in the blood. Each quick breath is an attempt at restoration, trying to save the balance that is unraveling. At this moment, the body is screaming for help. So if you or someone you know notices any of these signs, don't wait. Seek help immediately. Taking care of your health is always the smartest choice. After all, the body speaks, and it's essential to listen when it asks for help. Imagine your body is like a high-performance car, always running on the right fuel, glucose. For someone with diabetes, this fuel is even more crucial. But one day, something starts to go wrong. Imagine you're going about your day normally, but suddenly, your body begins to send signals that something isn't right. First, that strange taste in your mouth appears, a sweet breath that shouldn't be there. Your heart races, your breathing quickens, and then, nausea arises, accompanied by the growing discomfort that something serious is happening. Without enough insulin, the body can't use glucose as fuel. So, in a desperate attempt, it starts to use fat to generate energy. Up to this point, it seems like a solution, right? But the problem lies in the byproducts of this fat burning. Ketones. They start to accumulate, turning your blood into something acidic and toxic. And that's when the maximum alarm should sound. At that moment, it's as if the body is silently screaming for help. Nausea, the strange breath, and even vomiting are signs that the situation is deteriorating rapidly. It's not something you can ignore. It's like your car emitting smoke from the engine. Continuing to drive could be disastrous. So if you feel these signs, a sweet breath, rapid breathing, or strong nausea, it's time to act. This isn't just a simple discomfort. It could be a case of ketoacidosis, an emergency that can be fatal if not treated in time. Seek medical help immediately. After all, when your body starts showing these symptoms, it's asking for help in the most intense way possible. Imagine your body as a huge factory where every part plays an essential role. Everything runs like clockwork until suddenly, something starts to go wrong. Ketones, substances that accumulate when the body can't use sugar as fuel, are like gears that jam, and over time, they cause the factory to collapse. At first, it seems like a minor issue, a stomach ache. But soon, this discomfort grows, and the pain turns into intense nausea, as if a tornado is swirling inside you. This isn't just any stomach pain. The factory starts sounding alarms, and vomiting occurs, a way for the body to try to rid itself of the ketones, as if it's trying to fix the damaged gears. If no one intervenes to adjust the machine in time, chaos begins to spread. The entire factory falls into disarray. The pH balance in the blood, which is crucial for the body's proper functioning, is next to be affected. And the problem doesn't stay just in the stomach. Like oil spreading in water, this imbalance starts to affect every part of the factory, impacting essential organs and functions. These episodes of nausea and vomiting aren't just a passing nuisance. They're the factory's cries for help, warning that something is very wrong. But the drama doesn't stop there. As the imbalance deepens, other signs of failure appear. You start to feel your mind is foggy, as if you're trapped in a thick mist. Thinking becomes difficult, and confusion takes over, as if the factory's control systems are about to fail. The brain, this incredibly complex and essential part of the factory, needs sugar to function properly, just as a machine needs fuel to operate. When blood sugar fluctuates uncontrollably, rising or falling, it's as if the factory is running out of power, resulting in dizziness, blurred vision, and a confusion that can't be ignored. Let's dive into the journey of those living with diabetes, a silent and intense struggle that unfolds day after day. Imagine walking down a road, and suddenly, the signs that were once clear and visible begin to fade. This is how many diabetics feel when their blood sugar levels become unregulated. When sugar remains high for too long, the situation can become critical. The body begins to enter a state called diabetic ketoacidosis, where the brain turns into a labyrinth, lost and disoriented. As ketones increase, confusion deepens, and the sense of control fades. It's as if you're driving on a foggy road, where everything seems distorted and confusing. But the story doesn't end there. If, on the other hand, blood sugar levels plummet drastically, the brain, which relies on glucose as its primary fuel, faces an even greater challenge. This energy deprivation causes an alarming sensation, a confusion that echoes in the mind, leaving the person unsure of what step to take next. These signs can't be ignored. They are the body's alert signals, crying out for attention and care. Think of it like an engine that, for some reason, can't utilize all the available fuel. For those with diabetes, this daily struggle is reflected in thoughts and emotions. Every confusion, every shift in mental state is a visible sign of an internal chaos. Ignoring these symptoms can be dangerous. It's a reminder that it's time to act. Seeking help quickly can be the key to turning a simple correction into a critical situation. Now, let's talk about a symptom that may seem common but carries an important warning. Weakness or fatigue. Imagine coming home after a long, tiring day. Your muscles ache, your mind is exhausted, and all you want to do is relax. However, for those living with diabetes, this weakness is more than just tiredness. It's a profound exhaustion, as if a shadow is slowly draining the body's vital energy. To better understand, let's take a closer look at how diabetes impacts our energy. Glucose is the fuel our cells need, just like gasoline for a car. When everything functions properly, insulin acts as the key that unlocks the cells, allowing glucose to enter and provide the necessary energy for daily activities. But in diabetes, this key often doesn't work as it should. The body may not produce enough insulin, or the insulin may not be effective. Even if glucose is present in the blood, the cells remain locked, unable to access this essential fuel. So, stay alert. Every signal your body sends is an invitation to take care of yourself. Listening to and responding to these calls can make the difference between a fulfilling life and a path filled with complications. After all, taking care of your health is an act of self-love and a way to ensure that the journey continues. Imagine a shiny car, with a tank full of gasoline, ready for the road. But for some strange reason, the engine doesn't respond. The car remains stationary, while the driver, anxious, waits for the moment they can accelerate and move forward. This is the reality for many diabetics. Even though glucose is available, energy doesn't flow, resulting in an almost paralyzing fatigue. Getting off the couch becomes a monumental challenge, like climbing a steep mountain. But the impact of this imbalance goes far beyond fatigue. When blood sugar levels spike, the body goes into emergency mode, trying to get rid of the excess. This means frequent trips to the bathroom, which can lead to dehydration. And dehydration? Oh, it brings with it a wave of even greater fatigue, creating a vicious cycle that seems endless. On the other hand, when glucose plummets, a person is hit with weakness and dizziness, as if navigating a rough sea, unable to stay afloat. That's why it's vital to pay attention to these signals from the body. Each instance of weakness and every moment of exhaustion serves as a reminder that we need to take care of ourselves. It's like our car flashing a warning light. Hey, something isn't right. Seeking medical guidance, adjusting our diet, and learning to monitor glucose levels are essential steps to ensure that our car runs efficiently, making the most of every drop of available fuel. Now, think about the stomach ache that sometimes arises. Have you ever felt that pain in your stomach, almost like an alarm going off? For those with diabetes, this pain can be a warning sign of something more serious, like diabetic ketoacidosis. Imagine the body struggling to use glucose as fuel, but lacking sufficient insulin to assist in this task. It ends up burning fat in search of energy, and this situation is not good at all. It's as if energy is draining away, making it hard to even get out of bed. Remember, our body is a complex system, demanding our attention and care. By understanding these signals and acting quickly, we ensure that we can continue driving down the road of life with energy and vitality. So whenever you feel a warning sign, look inward and ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? Imagine your body as a complex machine, where every gear and part plays a vital role. Now, picture this machine starting to emit strange signals, like lights flashing on a control panel. If you or someone you know is experiencing odd symptoms, it's like this machine is crying for help. Don't hesitate. Seek out a specialized mechanic, or better yet, a healthcare professional. They are the experts who can diagnose the problem and get everything back on track. Ignoring these signals can be like leaving a warning light on in a car. Dangerous and potentially disastrous. Let's explore one more signal that can go unnoticed. Ketones. When your body faces an emergency, it goes into survival mode and starts producing these substances. You know that discomfort of a churning stomach that suddenly catches us off guard? It's as if your body is screaming, "Help! I'm in trouble." For those with diabetes, this pain may be a warning that ketones are building up in the blood, making it acidic. In extreme situations, this can even affect your breathing, signaling that something serious is happening. And what about blurred vision? That's a sign many ignore, but it's like an emergency call from the body. Hey, something isn't right here. The eye is a delicate structure, requiring a perfect balance of fluids and nutrients. When blood sugar levels rise, the lens of the eye can swell, resulting in that blurred vision. Here's the crucial point. This isn't just a temporary nuisance. It's a message from the body, trying to alert us to what's going on. If a person with diabetes manages to better control their blood sugar, their vision may return to normal. But it's not always that simple. The most alarming part is that elevated sugar levels over long periods can damage the small blood vessels in the eyes, leading to a condition called diabetic retinopathy, which can severely compromise vision and, in severe cases, even result in blindness. Therefore, blurred vision isn't just a detail to be ignored. It's a warning that deserves attention. Recognizing these emergency signs is more than knowing they exist. It's understanding that our body is striving to communicate something important to us. If you or someone around you begins to experience these symptoms, don't wait any longer. It's time to act and take care of health. After all, prevention is always the best medicine. Paying attention to the signals our body sends can be the difference between a temporary issue and something that can be treated in time. Don't ignore your body's cries for help. Subscribe to the channel.